The post-up is dying a slow and painful death in the NBA. What used to be a staple for NBA offenses is now more of a novelty that's only exploited by a select group of big men, particularly from Eastern Europe. This season, Nikola Jokic leads the league in post-ups with 9.4 per game. Next is Joel Embiid with 6.3 per game. Then only 4 other players are averaging over 5: Anthony Davis, Jusuf Nurkic, Luka Doncic, and Nikola Vucevic. But let's go back 10 years ago to the 2013-14 season. That year, Al Jefferson led the league in post-ups with nearly 20 per game, more than double Jokic this year. And there were 10 other guys, from LaMarcus Aldridge to Blake Griffin to Nene, that would all lead the league this season in post-ups. In fact, there were 33 guys averaging at least 5 post-ups per game in 2013-14. Since that season, the decline has been steady. Teams just don't prioritize the slow, methodical, and somewhat inefficient post-up anymore. But let's dwell on that for a moment. Just how inefficient is the post-up? Well, back in 2013, Al Jefferson was averaging 52% field goal percentage on his post-ups. That's not great compared to the efficiency that we've become accustomed to in the modern era. And he was actually one of the best at the time. Amongst that group of 33 players averaging at least 5 post-ups, only 5 were scoring 50% or better. Al Horford, David Lee, Big Al, and then Dirk Nowitzki and Brook Lopez were the most efficient. The rest of that group were all under 50%, and some were well under. Andrew Bynum was attempting nearly 9 post-ups per game, but just shooting an atrocious 36% on them, while Carlos Boozer wasn't much better, shooting 37% on 6.5 post-ups per game. But now let's consider the current 22-23 season. Amongst those 6 guys attempting at least 5 post-ups, only 1 is below 50%. That's Jusuf Nurkic, respectively at 46%. Nikola Jokic is not only the leader in attempts, but he's also the most efficient of the 6, impressively shooting nearly 63% on his post-ups. That's about 10 whole percentage points better than the best post-up scorers from 10 years ago. So while post-ups continue to die off in favor of more efficient offense like three-pointers, layups, and the pick and roll, they have paradoxically continued to become more and more efficient, seemingly along with everything else in NBA offenses over the past 10 years. Perhaps with less attempts, players are just prioritizing post-ups when they have a particularly favorable matchup. Whatever the case may be, posting up is undoubtedly a dying art form in the NBA, despite being more efficient than ever.